The first way to get better at burning fat is to use intermittent fasting. Studies that review intermittent fasting show that it's going to primarily use fat as fuel, and this is because intermittent fasting is a really great tool to help lower the storing hormone insulin. When insulin is lower, it turns on the fat burning process called lipolysis, but when insulin is high, it shuts that off. So because intermittent fasting helps to keep insulin levels lower during that fasted state, it helps to increase the process of lipolysis or fat burning. Not to mention, intermittent fasting has also been found to help increase growth hormone, which helps to increase fat burning as well as help protect muscles. And if you're new here, my name's Autumn and I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition human performance. Let's jump straight into that second way of getting better at burning fat, and that is to eat less insulin spiking foods. So obviously this strategy works very closely with intermittent fasting. Both address the fat storing hormone insulin, which then allows the body to use fat as fuel. In fact, if you're using intermittent fasting but you're not also using this second tip, then you're probably not really going to be using fat as fuel very well. Now, some people are going to be more carbohydrate sensitive than others, but regardless, the endpoint is still the same: to swap those insulin spiking foods for those that don't really greatly spike insulin. And the foods that really greatly spike insulin are those that are high in sugar or starches. Now, most people can see a lot of great results by simply just removing added sugars and refined flours, but that does also depend on the carbohydrate sensitivity. And instead replacing those really insulin spiking foods with protein and fat. Protein does cause a little bit of an insulin response, but not nearly as close to those sugars and starches. And this doesn't necessarily mean to eat less. It simply means to be swapping out those foods that cause that big insulin spike for those that don't. Now, the third is to incorporate weight-bearing exercises. Now, weight-bearing specifically, or strength training or resistance training, helps to improve insulin sensitivity. This means that your body won't need to produce as much insulin in response to the same amount of carbohydrates. And you don't have to be like Arnold to be getting these benefits. Studies are actually showing that 3 days of resistance training for 15 to 20 minutes at 80% max effort shows significant improvements in insulin sensitivity. And it's important to note that exercise alone won't do the trick, especially if you're also still eating those high insulin spiking foods or you're eating frequently throughout the day. But if you start off with one of them, start off with that second one and really address your food. Now, to get an idea of how you can use intermittent fasting while addressing your food, you can check out this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out with new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.